Hey everyone, Connor here with MMO Fallout, and I wanted to put out a little bit of a video on Poppy Playtime. If you don't know, Chapter 2 released back in October. I did a 1-minute review of the first chapter of the game, and it ended up being the highest viewed video on this channel. And I planned on doing a 1-minute review for Poppy Playtime Chapter 2, and I can't beat it. I'm having too many problems. The game is pretty fundamentally broken. And I say this knowing that some people aren't having problems and some people have completed the chapter. But the problem with the game is that there's too many bugs right now. And the game is pretty much, at the very least, at the time I'm recording this, it is functionally broken. The settings don't work. The game is capped out at 60 FPS and at max settings. You can't change any settings. You can't change the brightness. You can't change the FOV. You can't set it to full screen. If you have any problems that are related to the settings, you cannot fix the game. And which means that if you have, say, a computer that might have trouble playing the game on max settings, you cannot play the game. And the settings are broken, and part of that kind of leads into why I can't beat the game. And I'm going to put the footage up on screen, and hopefully it comes through the same way that it did for me. There's a mini game where your whole goal is to, it's a whack-a-mole game, and you have to beat the Huggy Wuggies. Like, you have to bop the Huggy Wuggies as they come through the pipes before they get you. And it's an interesting game, but I can't see anything. And I know that it's not just my eyesight, because my eyesight is fine. I have a 20/20 vision as of my last trip to the doctor's office. But the setting that the game takes place in is so dark that you can't see anything. And the game tries to placate this by making it so if a Huggy Wuggy gets to the point where they're about to attack you, you can kind of hear them in your ear. But still, like, once you get to a certain point, there's so many of them, and even with that sound, they're impossible to see, because some of them, some of the pipes, hopefully the video that I recorded from my gameplay is showing this properly, but there's lights on the walls, and the specific lighting setup that they had is so hard to, I can't see things, and it's made that game impossible to beat. And that's something that could be easily fixed by turning the brightness up, but as I said already, the brightness settings are broken. The FOV settings are broken. Everything regarding the settings is broken in this game. The lighting is messed up. There's certain puzzles in the game that are not functioning properly. The game crashes persistently, having fatal Unreal errors. The puzzles don't operate in the way... Some of the puzzles don't seem to be operating in the way that they should be, if that makes any sense. They're not functioning the way that they should, and some of the parts in the game seem to need to be completely fixed. For instance, there's one part, I won't even go into it, but the game was broken. Chapter 2 is completely broken, and I wanted to put a video out because I gave high praise to Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is now free, and now Chapter 2 is $10. And if you play Chapter 1, to the best of my knowledge, that one still is still having pretty much no problems. So I wanted to put this video out just as kind of a warning to people that if you play Chapter 1 and it's you know, smooth as butter, do not buy Chapter 2, at least at this moment, because it's completely broken. And the folks at Mob Games are putting out patches. They put out two to four patches today, and it's fixed a couple of the problems, but the game is busted as shit. And for $10, just ignoring the fact that the developer lied and said that future DLC packs would be $5, it's $10. It's broken. It was delayed to get the mobile port out, and the mobile version has been delayed itself to an indeterminate time. It's just not worth it at the moment. And I think that people should know that. Because, again, $10, and it's significantly more busted than Chapter 1 was. And if it's any solace, once they get technical glitches fixed, when it works, I think it is such a step up from Chapter 1. The things that you do, the interactions with the environment, the character animations, the events, when it functions, Chapter 2 is a massive step up from Chapter 1. But I think part of it being more complicated was why it had all of these issues. But it does have all these issues, and if you play Chapter 2 right now, you're gonna have a very frustrating time. So just kind of take that from me. It's really, really not worth buying right at this moment. And hopefully the video that I'm attaching to this will make that clear. But just for now, I'm Connor. This is MMO Fallout. I'm going to put out a video because I really want to play this once it's fixed. And I'm going to put out a video for Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. I might even delete this video once the game is fixed up. But I think it's important that people be aware that the game is busted. And it's one of those cases where every time they release an update, it fixes something and breaks something else. So it's gonna be a rough first week for this game at the very least, I think. And that's really all I have to say on the matter.